I'm playing Evolve Mutations 2 from Heaviosity and Native Instruments. Welcome to another round of Project Preset. Pardon, the cameras there, not there. And pardon that I've been away for a while. I had a high fever, but now I'm back and actually heard some of these sounds. I haven't played through all of them yet. As is often the case with a project preset, I will go through all or almost all the sounds available right out of the box. And Mutations is a great example because one thing Heaviosity emphasizes on their site is these are scoring tools. I know that sounds kind of boring by itself, but as you can hear, very exciting. They transcend what you might think about normal beat loops, drum loops, and tempo synced rhythms because they save you time, giving you this authentic quality of a lot of grit, a lot of attitude. And we're going to go through, there are going to be 4 videos. So as you can see here, they're the rhythmic suites, the percussive kits, the strings and transitions, and the tonality and effects 4 sections. So we're in this first one, we're going to go through these and the tonal ones in this first video. Thank you graciously to Neil Fraser for getting me hooked up with this. It was quite a surprise, and as you could see, I bought the first one. I'm a big fan. I've used it in a lot of tracks. And if you want to liken a comparison of what's different, in some respects, yes, it is more of the same of what you like. It's kind of like I just finished Neil Stephenson's Anthem. And if you think of Arb and Earth, there you go. So let's go on to the next one here. I'll have pithy comments between each set, but each of these keys, pretty much, you have the more bassy ones in the bottom. As you ascend, you get a different loop. And if you like, that's too slow. The cool thing is it's tempo sliced. You can't see this, but I'm going to turn the tempo up to like 175 beats per minute. So that's more like a drum and bass tempo. And I'm going to even make it quicker. I was going to say slow it down, but let's make it faster. See, that went down like 50 BPM there. We'll leave it right now at about 130 or so. I'm doing this one with my left hand. Let's go back, up. And you could stack them like this. And if you're a bit off playing it live, that's fine because it's tempo sync, so in your sequence relator can move the MIDI notes and then print it or freeze it to audio. Now, I'm going to show this off in several ways. There are, you may wonder, what is this tab? Trigger effects. I need to draw attention to this. By default, these are keys up here, which are going to, let me bend down. These ones, there we go. These really high keys that will affect your sound live in various ways. If you're familiar with Native Instruments, the finger or Sugar Bytes artillery, which I'm a big fan of, Effectrix, that sort of thing. It just flip the switch on like this. You get a nice filter sweep. And of course, you can stack them. Very cool. So, as is the case also with Project Preset, let's just take our time and relax. I know some of these videos, they can get rather long, but that helps when I want to help you make an informed buying decision. That's part of the crux of why I do these things, because the demo sounds, they're great, the demo tracks. I love checking them out with the waveform on the Native Instruments site, but it doesn't tell you how it might be raw. If someone like me producing music, transfer, you could see yourself in this position doing that. The cool thing is pitch bend. I'm a big fan of pitch bend with drum loops like this, because you can bend it. And a lot lot of the effects use mod wheel 2 as indicated by MW in the name. We'll be checking that out later. More trigger. Delay is like that echo. You could just grab a tail like that. We won't do this for every single possible combination, but you get quite a good idea. So the interface itself too is quite nice in that it's been revamped, and you can easily turn on individual effects here by a switch if you want to set things. I'm quite a big fan of that sort of thing. And let's see here, what else do we got going on? Now we're going to move on to score fair menu number 5. So these are similar sounding, a lot of the trash percussion, bang, 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 bang. Like think of epic car chases or on foot chases, a lot of these crime procedurals. Let's see here, what have we got going? Nothing on that octave that I can hear. It stacks them. And I know some people are going to be all snobbish and chin strokey, and they're going to go, this is cheating. Of course it's not cheating. Cheating, how can you say it's cheating when you have a tight deadline, and there are certain things like this that come ready-made, they're easy for you. Like we don't cook all our food from or prepare it from scratch. It's a pleasure to at times, yes it is. But there are certain times when we're aware what it's like, when we know how to assemble these things, but time is tight and time cannot be negotiated with. However, we can tussle with time, give time a bop in the nose with something like this. There are plenty of things in the world that cannot be automated, which is why I'm such a big fan of tools like this. They let you get going. So the things that you can't, that you would need to impart your further personality to, like for example, synth solo on top of this, as you'll hear evident, because these loops, you're gonna find their way into my works. So we're not gonna go into all these little mapped loop slices here. There's one for everyone. Like for example, we were to drag this on just quickly, just to show, oh, D0, it's like, okay, so that's just right down there. We're not gonna go in all those, but you have a good idea of these score fair menus. So let's proceed now to Tono. And I have a very staunch attitude about people who accuse this of being cheating. No, the thing I admire about presets in many ways, they have sort of a dirty word to them, so people kind of skirt around and say that you get different instruments, like it says here. But the thing is, they're crafted. They were crafted by a human being working in tandem with a machine, delivered to you, which you can now play. So if anything, it's appreciating the art that another musician, another creative soul has imparted, that you've purchased, that you find the value in. So these ones are tonal, so you'll have more of not rhythm, just the rhythms. But discernible notes. And the pitch bend looks like it goes up an octave, down an octave. Gain stack. Just using the pedal right now. kind of gives me the vibe like not so much the bass, but the overall drive, like some of the Crystal Method tracks, like the Bones theme. I don't watch that show, but I have seen a little bit of it. Okay, so wait a minute. No, that was not it. I was like, what are we doing here? We're doing structure. So now I could play it pitched to the keyboard. And like I said, I haven't played many of these before. Some of them I heard when I was in a feverish haze, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I felt like my face was melting off like that Nazi scene in Indiana Jones, because it was just so gripping. It was so intense just hearing them. And of course, my hearing is back to normal of what I know it now with hyperacusis, but nonetheless, that memory remains. So it's convenient because these are pre-gated and effective menus, or the effects, you can throw them on very quickly. It's like a nice salad, and you have the dressing ready to go, and you serve it, and it's a lovely meal. So it's a very cool convention. I like how consistent it is in that you get the bassy stuff down here. And as you ascend, and it clearly shows this in the manual, that reminds me of the Future Sound of London, My Kingdom, the beginning. I think they sampled, was it Ennio Morricone for that? Trigger effects. See what I'm doing? Pressing these keys over here. Actually, let me hit a low one, some low ones. Let me slam them. And use a pedal. Bring up the trigger effects page. And these can be reassigned if you don't want to use the keys up there for whatever reason. You can you can assign them by right-clicking them easily and have it learn MIDI, which I'm not going to do because I have a bunch of stuff that's already set. But let's go back here and let's continue onwards. Like I say, this is Project Preset. Stay along for the ride. Oh, hey, trance hop. And I know that in some dance workstations, they come with preset patterns of things, or arranger workstations you can jam. But I've found historically a lot of cases, of course, those are okay for like music you're playing in an old folks home. Not that that's a bad thing. Sometimes there's wonderful vintage machines, even Mellotrons in there. But for the purposes of, say, cutting edge soundtrack work, there's a discernible palette. And again, I say the word authenticity. And beyond words, you listen. Oops. I slid there. Easy to get back on track. Aggressing the situation. I expect this one to sound kind of violent. Let's change the BPM for variety's sake. Let's set it to something even faster, 150 beats per minute. Come on now. Oh, it's like axe slashing. Like a horror movie. I was looking at screenshots of Switchblade Romance, aka Haute Tension. Often I maybe not watch the whole movie, but I just look and say, oh, okay, those are the best kill scenes. There's blogs dedicated to that, best death scenes in movies now. It's a crazy world. And like I said, what's really, really cool is that these are tempo synced. So up and down the ladder, you can go and you're not going to experience a humongous, ugly deterioration in sound quality as you might if it was a pre-recorded whole loop. I believe they're sliced up. I'm not sure, but beforehand. You could pile all the effects on at once. That's powerful. Playable effects, using them like an instrument to add spice to your sonic salad here. Sonic seasonings, Wendy Carlos reference. But I don't think Wendy Carlos ever had sounds like this. That's very, very, very reminiscent of some early, late 90s classic techno. We're gonna play with this one. And of course, if you're wondering, if you're watching this and like, well, I don't want loops, or they're nice but I don't use them in the main, that's because, well, another section I'm going to show you later, they has playable instruments that don't always like this. So you could put them all together as an arrangement. There are multis in here, which I'm not going to get into, but these are good examples of where they are stacked. And I suppose that might be something for a future consideration of expanding Project Preset, but pretty much I play the ones that are meant to be soloed on a single channel like this. Oh, that's a nice hit. And of course you can cut them up further after recording them. So already I hope you're getting a good feel. Like I said, help you make an informed buying decision about this sort of thing. I'm going back to about 130 or so. Oh, you got brutal, crushing. And even turning on all the effects at the same time, I don't really see much of an appreciable CPU jump. It's pretty friendly. See, watch that CPU meter. So you can ask yourself, oh, what genre? That's never a good game for me to play, but it sounds industrial at times, techno-ish, rocky, rock not in Rocky Balboa sense, rock music, heavy rock. Imagine like a spy going through a hallway like this. Not like a gimp walk. Kind of helps I'm in the dark too, eh? With the heaviosity kind of blue. I think these things through. Wow, that was a nice one up there. So it's great if, as I found, I use some of the first volume in my track from the first Dream Journal, What Lies Beyond, and I found it added a great sense of motion when I had pads and even melodies already laid down, or even my rhythms. It's just something over the top to make it even more propulsive, to give it that kick. Like you have an 8-bar section where it's not having one of these loops, and then you throw one of them on top, and then just kicks it in overdrive. Like some of these are minor, like, or indeterminate, but like in a minor key. And I wish there was some way I could switch to like have the major equivalent, because when you're doing chord progressions, you need it to harmonically align like that at times. See, it's like it's D to F, but if it could go to D to F sharp. I guess you cheat like that. It's like happy time. Not how it was meant to be used, perhaps. But I believe, is that it for the tonal range? Let's go back up. Yes, for the rhythmic suite. So if you want to check out the percussive kits, which I believe are single hits, come on with me to video number 2, covering Evolve Mutations 2 on Torley's Project Preset.